Summation of Making, Not Knowing by Anne Hamilton for Healing Arts 2 by April Vihilidal. Anne says, I think about the space of someone speaking and someone listening, a situation of response. I begin to think about words. What can words do? How can words be acts of making? I begin to wonder how words might become the material of my making. To take on another's language is to take on another culture and all the accumulations of its history into the body. One is touched, and in being touched, one is changed. Then empathy and understanding have a chance. Yes, art as a lofty, transnational, transcultural force that, in Saul Bellow's great formulation, opens the universe a little more. The healing of cherry blossom pink this semester has taken us from healing and communication with Desha and Sophia to the element of surprise and creativity and successful teamwork with Andrea and Josue. Making Not Knowing by Anne Hamilton. Cherry blossom pink is used as a symbol of healing, love, and rebirth, as the Cherry Blossom Festival of Japan is a combination of our Valentine's Day and Easter rolled into one celebration that lasts a week. Friends and family exchange cards and gifts as they enjoy viewing the cherry blossoms together. It is a week of national healing and arts. Hanami. This celebration of art as the proper counterweight to power implies responsibility. A responsibility that comes with the artist's power to exercise a free imagination, says Anne Hamilton in Making Not Knowing. Hanami is the ancient tradition of going to enjoy the blooming of cherry blossoms. Hanami. Hanami literally means viewing flowers, but it generally indicates cherry blossom viewing. It's said that the origin of Hanami dates back more than 1,000 years to when aristocrats enjoyed looking at beautiful cherry blossoms to consciously or unconsciously support the national healing arts practice of ancient Japan, wrote poems inspired by the beautiful cherry blossoms of Japan. From Making Not Knowing, Anne Hamilton asks us to consider, how might we find a way to speak together, to be a chorus of speakers summoning together a need to say? One doesn't arrive in words or in art by necessarily knowing where one is going. You have to open up to all possibilities and to all routes, circuitous or otherwise. Not knowing is a permissive and rigorous willingness to trust, leaving knowing in suspension, trusting in possibility without result, regarding as possible all manner of response. We honor this practice of art, of a life of making. From Making Not Knowing, Anne Hamilton asks us how can we speak without speaking. Sock and buskin remind us. Greek theater was a place where what was not allowed to be spoken in public was spoken. How? It was spoken in visual art, in dance, in music, and in poetry. Where is that place now? Every act of making matters. How we make matters. Make something to change your mind. Acts that amplify. From making not knowing, Anne Hamilton asks us to remember the butterfly effect. Remember the butterfly effect? The flap of a wing on one continent, changing the weather on another? That is how a metaphor travels. The initial act may be small, but it can change things. We have the butterfly effect because scientists found that the minutest variations, almost undetectable phenomena, things hardly registering, can cause entirely different weather patterns to emerge. From making not knowing, Anne Hamilton asks us to be unsettlers. All things are possible, according to Nadine Gordimer. The people know what to do before the leaders. I would add that perhaps it is the task of artists to know before the people. Let me repeat that. Anne says, I would add that perhaps it is the task of the artist to know before the people. It is the task of the artist to make material form, to give it presence, to make it social. It is the task of the artist to lead the leaders by staying at the threshold, to be an unsettler. An ongoing thematic concern for Hamilton is the manner in which knowledge and experience are apprehended and constructed through the senses. How we learn through our skin. Anne is concerned with the inability of language to adequately articulate experience. For nothing is so healing as human touch. Okay, my works cited includes Cherry Blossom Photo 1, Cherry Blossom Photo 2, and then all the rest of the Cherry Blossom photos. Also, the picture of the girl contemplating Sock and Buskin, the butterfly, Healing Touch 1 and Healing Touch 2. Then, remember the girls, one talks and one listens, and here's one you haven't seen yet, the power of good questions. Part 2 of our presentation is now about to begin. Now I would like to introduce my partner and new friend, Macy. Macy is going to share the summation of an article entitled The Art of Powerful Questions, Catalyzing Insight, Innovation, and Action by Eric E. Voigt, Juanita Brown, and David Isaacs. Yeah, the power of good questions. Take it over, Macy.